Hey everybody, how are you? I'm wearing my I voted sticker because today is election day, November 7th. I just wanted to tell you that I found out yesterday that someone is out there calling me a crook. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I definitely did not get offended. I'm not getting defensive about it. What it actually reminded me of was a couple of years ago, I had this client and she would constantly say, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. And to me, with all the people I work with who have all the money problems that they all have, I hardly ever hear people say that. People hardly ever say, I'm broke. Isn't that funny? Because when you are behind on all your credit cards, when you can't pay your mortgage, you probably feel broke, but hardly ever nobody ever says that, right? But I had this client a couple of years ago and she would say, oh, I'm broke, I'm broke. And I kind of knew for sure she was not because I knew how much she made and this and that. But she was sort of name calling herself, or it was a state of mind. So when someone called me a crook the other day, I figured that said more about the person who called me a crook than me. It said more about that person than it said about me. For example, that person, the story was the person who called me a crook had a friend who was one of my clients. I don't know who this client was, but the friend who's now calling me a crook must have interpreted what was going on with my client's situation and the fact that the client paid me money. And maybe the client wasn't happy or we could not get the result that we wanted overall for the client. And so her friend thinks I'm a crook. So, and this also brings up my frustration that the legal profession is often characterized as ripping off their clients. A lot of people come to me if they've ever used attorneys before, they're not happy with the service they received. They didn't feel heard. They didn't understand the process. So I work every day with my clients to make sure they understand what's going on. I take the extra time to explain things because I don't want them feeling in the dark. I feel like they need to know what's going on as much as I do. So it's funny that I was called a crook. I think that says more about the person who called me a crook. She probably had a bad experience with an attorney somewhere else along the line and heard that her friend wasn't 100% satisfied and just said, oh, that Sarah Poriss is a crook. So I don't take offense. In fact, I welcome that kind of criticism. It gives me perspective. Am I doing a good job for my clients? Is there something I could have done better? Are my clients feeling that they're getting value when they pay me what they pay me? And as long as they are, then I think I'm doing a good job. And I'll let that lady think I'm a crook. She probably thinks all lawyers are crooks. Who knows who else she criticizes all the time. But it's always good to keep that in perspective. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.